Yeah, we're stupid. That has to be the beginning of this one. We're stupid. And
we are stupid. All right.
So one, two, three. We're stupid.
We're stupid.
Well,
Oh, wait. Ready?
yeah.
We're stupid? Oh.
We're stupid.
And now it's time for Bikes, Mics, and Idiots with your hosts, Ubi and Eric.
All right, yes, here we go again. We kind of already started, but apparently we're not very smart.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we have not yet recovered from our trip to Chicago and back because we've been recording for the last 30 minutes. And
Hey, we got video.
yeah, we got video of us going and no sound. Because, well, there's sound, but it's crappy
This is actually
sound.
way better sound than what it was at Bike Week.
Well, that's because you had 10,000 bikes driving through there. But
And
yeah, so yeah, we're
And
going
the
to.
stage was right behind us, so that
Well,
didn't
yeah,
help.
that was loud too. So we're going to welcome the idiots back. And since we forgot to press the button, we will applaud the fact that the button just got pressed.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I feel special now.
Oh, you sure? You're special, all right.
Some kind of special.
Yeah. So,
So we just got back from Bike Week.
Not Bike Week.
Not Bike Week. Nationals. It's been a long few weeks. So obviously everyone knows we don't record live. We don't record the week of. When we're on track, we usually record the week of.
yeah.
But lately we haven't been.
Well, we
were trying
basically
to get
do,
ahead.
for the one that drops Thursday, we're recording it the previous Friday.
Yeah. So we've been kind of trying to get ahead, trying to get a couple weeks ahead, and just because it was a long way, and I thought we'd be able to get some content while we were going, we couldn't. There was just
No, well, the first 2 days would have melted the camera because it was like 106 plus the first 2 days on the way there. And then the third day, it was raining sideways, upside down, backwards,
Every
inside
which
out.
way.
Oh, my God.
every which way to where you can figure someone can waterboard themselves
Yes.
in a helmet.
Yeah, so this dude waterboards himself. He has his face mask on, and the water's hitting it, and he ends up waterboarding himself while he's riding. I was completely dry. I had the right gear to be dry, so I was perfectly good. I didn't get
What
wet
kind of
at
gear
all.
was that?
The truck.
He drew the short straw.
I drew the short straw that
poor
day.
him.
Well, and the thing is when we left, it didn't say anything about bad weather at all.
No, it didn't.
There was like nothing on the radar.
Although, there was the whole tornado thing.
No,
tornado
previous
here,
day
tornado
though.
there.
But the previous day, yeah.
Yeah.
So the day we left, there was a tornado in Tucson, and then the day before we get there, there's a tornado in Chicago. So we're like, maybe we are the bad luck. I don't know. Not good.
Or maybe we're the good luck. We brought the
The better weather, and the
tornadoes.
weather
There you go.
was amazing while we were there in
so
Chicago.
nice. It was
First day
so
was like,
nice.
what, 65, 70 degrees? It
I
didn't
think
really
hit-
get
I
much
think it
over
hit like
85. It wasn't
75
bad.
the first day.
Yeah.
But it was phenomenal, especially considering we had a couple days of, like you said, 103, 106.
Terrible weather.
People legitimately were worried about my health because
when we
I was
when we
dying.
stopped in Amarillo, Texas, and I go and buy a round of beers for everybody. He looks at his and he was just like, "No." He took about 2 sips and then gave it back to me, which meant I got 2 beers, which is all right. But he was just like, he was a zombie. He just I'll do my best impression of him for the camera.
That's about. I believe that's exactly what I look
Pretty
like.
close. Pretty close.
I was hurting. I
Yeah,
was
it
hurting
was
so
rough.
bad. It was bad. And I've had rhabdo twice.
Yeah.
I've had heat stress, heat stroke a few times. So I'm just susceptible to it. It's just a thing that
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do. There's
No.
nothing you can do after that.
Heat injuries are like that. Once you get one, once you get one, they come way easier. And then, work's been crazy too for me. I'm changing
Yeah.
my location of work, so there's a lot
High
of
five?
high five.
High five. Congratulations,
So, thank
buddy.
You, thank you very much. So there's a lot of intricacies that happen with our offices changing locations. It's a pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went to work last night, which was not a good plan.
I'm sure that's the best plan of the day.
Yeah, it was not working day shift and then going back to working a midnight shift. That same day, I was done, and I'm still tired still. So,
I bet.
But
You know what I did today?
what's that? Played golf.
Played golf.
Who went and played golf? Doesn't even invite me.
I did invite him. I invited him,
But I was
although
going
we
to
had,
work.
we ended up having an
didn't
extra
work.
person anyways. My nephew.
Oh, see, lucky
So-
I didn't go. See,
Well, either way, we would have still played all together. It would have just been the same thing. You know what? Here's the whole messed up part about it. Do you know how much I had to pay for my son to ride in the cart with me?
probably $30.
Close.
Yeah, we'll buzz that one pretty. Beep, 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 beep,
My
beep,
turn.
beep, beep,
It's
beep,
okay.
beep,
I'm
beep.
u-
Usually
I'm
it's me
used to
that he's used to blotting out my language.
Yeah.
So this time
I'm
it's
used to
his
your
fault.
language being the one. But yeah, it was $25
Yeah, well that's crazy.
just so I can get an extra, just to
Somebody
have the cart to
on
be
there.
able. I was like, "Are you serious? That's
Yep.
insane."
That they don't care. They don't care.
But I mean, it was a good time.
But so like the crazy thing with the rain, it rained so hard. We kid you not. I had
was
a
bad.
gallon, pretty close to a gallon of water in my saddlebags of the
Yeah.
motorcycle.
And his was on the
Mine was on the
at
trailer,
time.
and another one on the trailer had the same thing. Two
Yeah.
of the three bikes on the trailer had water in the saddlebags.
2 of the 3 bikes have
Speaker
speakers in
lids.
the. Yeah.
So they're going to leak a little bit, but with that rain, I wasn't surprised. Like I went, that's why I opened it up when we got there, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to open this up," and I was like, "Oh, it's not too." Oh my god! Pull everything out, lay it out to dry, dump out the water, and everybody was laughing like, "Oh my god!" Like,
It
yeah,
was
it was
pretty
that
bad.
kind of rain.
it
So
was.
I'm going
pretty
to probably
damn
go
bad.
through and try to reseal them. I'll pull them out, put a bead of caulk around it, and
Caulk.
I'll make sure I caulk it real good.
Make sure you have that L in there.
I tried
'cause,
to. It's long. It's a long L caulk. But yeah, so it rained like crazy, and then these poor guys
oh my god, it was.
were
so
coming
bad.
out of this low spot, and the 3 guys are behind us on the bike. They had me go ahead in the truck, which was smart so that they would see big puddles and I could splash water out
That,
if it was.
and also because it was raining so bad,
Yeah.
like the electrical, like you couldn't touch anything, so the navigation wasn't working properly because it thought
So I
things were
had the
touching
actual, yeah.
everything.
So I was the one who had the directions on there, and so we go through this low spot, and I'm coming out of it, and this truck's going the other direction, and all of a sudden I hear the truck go, whoa! I'm like, oh no! And these guys saw the guy. They said he was grinning ear to ear, and he hit the puddle and sent a wave over the top of the
It
3
was
of the
at
bikes.
least 10 feet tall.
Oh my god! They disappeared from the truck. We were like, oh my god, are they okay? And they came out, and the lead guy turns and flips the guy the bird. And they all came out of it, and I was like, "Oh!" I'm trying not to laugh in the truck, and Ringo, who was with us in the truck, goes, "They're wet," and that was it. I burst out laughing, and
I couldn't help myself. As I saw the wave, I saw it engulf the first person, second person, and I just started laughing.
yeah.
I
You
mean,
know the
we were-
people in the cars behind you were like, "No!"
But that was the thing, though. We were already so wet.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
It didn't make a difference.
I mean,
Like,
that would make a gun rush shut. That's all I can say.
didn't rush shut.
So, needless
We're
to
pretty
say,
damn
when you're
close.
drying your stuff out, a good plan is to take your firearm pew pew out of the holster to
Take
dry.
your pew out of. Yeah.
Take the pew pew out of the holster to dry. Otherwise, it doesn't dry too
Totally
well.
forgot about it, though.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
we had other things to do.
granted, on top of that day was just all I was thinking about was
I just
getting
want to
there.
get somewhere so I can
just wanna
change into dry pants.
I just want to dry out.
But then those guys at the central chapter, they hooked us up. They gave us a place to sleep.
Yeah.
Threw a big barbecue for us. We christened their clubhouse.
Yeah.
First ones
We
to
sure
actually
did.
party in there, even though the official opening isn't coming. Oh,
Yeah.
it's open.
It's open now. No, it was a great time. Once we got there, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Finally dried off. But the 3 guys that were on the bikes, so it got to the point, like I said, I ended up waterboarding myself because my visor started to fog up. So I opened it a little bit. Yeah, that's how I felt. I opened it up to try to defog it. Didn't happen, so opened it up all the way. And when I did that, it just got soaked. So I was
breathing through the wet face mask.
legit just waterboard because couldn't breathe deep, could barely breathe at all. So I'm struggling trying to keep it on the road because there was probably like 6 inches. Oh wait, sorry, 6
inches
of asphalt past the fog line.
Oh yeah, there's nothing.
And then it was like a little ditch, so
Which
there
was full with water.
Yeah, there was no pulling over.
Yeah, they
So it
said.
was-
I want to say in that storm, they said it dropped 5 inches of rain in an hour.
That's
It
insane.
was,
That's like-
and I believe it with the amount of rain that was coming down. It was like strobe lightning. Like the truck thought it was nighttime because the lights all came on. It was that dark. Like it was dark. You couldn't see the horizon.
It was
The
insane.
clouds were so low and dark. Like it was insane.
It was really insane. So,
And as soon as we got the break of the weather, it's like go.
so we have a picture. I'll probably put it up on our social. The one where you can see the rain coming sideways. And so I finally got my mask off because I'm panicking because I'm like, I can't breathe. Oh God, I can't see. Like, finally got the mask off. We got to a spot where we could actually pull off because you couldn't pull off. You couldn't stop because you're in the middle of the road.
And honestly, it was like the smallest spot for me to take a truck and trailer. I don't know how I turned around in that thing without getting stuck.
Oh, yeah,
because
that's
it
true.
was pretty. When I started turning, I was like, "Oh God, no!"
Yeah,
But we made it. We made it.
We did make it. But the second we stopped, all you hear is quick, 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 quick. As we're getting off the motorcycles because it was insane.
Whoops.
I don't know what that was.
A turkey, apparently.
That did not sound like a turkey.
No, it sounded like something dying.
But yeah, we were. But yeah, we were literally walking around.
Oh yeah, it was outside. You could hear it.
And one of the guys was like, "Let's jump in the truck. We'll dry off a little bit and be able to sit down for a bit." And we were like,
What's
for?
the point?
What's
There's no
the-
point.
what
You're soaked all the way
for?
through. You'd never dry off in time. So I cracked open the window a little bit. I was like, "Hey guys, is it wet out?" And put the window back up. Got a finger from everybody. It was a good day
time,
to. It was a good day to draw the short straw.
Yeah, it really was. You lucked out that day.
Yes, I did.
Oh man, that was fun though.
Yep.
It was fun. It's an experience. We were not the happiest while it was happening.
No, but afterwards it was a good story.
It is
Like that's
It's
what
a
it comes
great
down
story.
to. It was a good story. We had, whiskey and beer over it at the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh my God, you guys drove through that?" But they're all like, "I can't believe you guys came through that storm." We're like, "Well, we didn't have much of a choice. You got caught in it. There was nowhere to sit."
Yeah, and there was nowhere to pull off. Like
Nowhere
I
to
said,
sit, nowhere to
you
pull
literally
off,
couldn't
like-
pull off because if you stopped, the closest, even if you got right on the edge of the road,
Yeah.
you're gonna get run over by a car.
Yeah, and visibility was zero. Like
Yeah, it was 15 feet, maybe.
maybe. Yeah, it was a pretty strong storm, but we
That was
did
bad.
prove a theory.
Which one's that?
The one
Oh,
that
on the way out.
on the way out and on the way back. Because on the
That's
way
true.
back, we did 700 miles
We don't
the
have
first
it on
day.
camera, though.
No,
That's the problem.
No, we'll get on camera for another episode. But on the way back, we did 700 miles. Well, we'll cover this chronologically, so we'll stop. But on the way out, we tested the theory that if you lean your head to one side while you're riding, not because you're soft or that your head's not strong enough to hold a 3-pound helmet. Yeah, we drove 1,800 miles on the bikes. We can hold a 3-pound helmet. But based on one of the comments we've had on one of our shorts,
yeah.
we said, yes, you can lean a bike with your head. So we were sitting there and we did that and
On a straight,
then you
you're just
start going,
drifting off.
lean your head the other way and you come right back center. And that was the whole point of that comment that we had
Yeah.
said on that short was that a little weight transfer makes a huge difference on a bike. That was
Okay.
the whole point of
when
that.
you're going on a highway,
Yeah.
and actually in a turn, it makes a significant difference.
Well, I mean,
too.
that's why guys lean out and they lean their knee down. It's not so they can drag their knee. The dragging the knee has nothing to do with it. It's about weight transfer.
Yeah,
It's
so
about
you can
getting
get that
low and
extra-
get that extra little pull so that you get all the way on that side of that chicken strip on that tire.
I'm sure I got some chicken strips now.
Oh yeah, that was 1,800 miles of highway.
After that long drive.
So we got there, we celebrated with our central chapter, had a real good time there. Then the next morning we drive to Chicago and we get on the highway. We're going all the way up on the highway, and then the highway's closed out of nowhere.
Are you gonna talk about when we went to the wrong hotel?
No, well, yeah, I'll talk about that, but that's a little ways away still. So we're on the way up there, and we stop at a gas station to get gas.
Oh yeah,
And
I forgot about that.
they lock the keys in the car.
Yeah.
So then I'm like getting a hold
You
of the
gotta be
truck's
joking,
owner,
dude.
like, you got to be kidding me. And we finally got the thing to be able to unlock the doors, got the keys out. So we're like, okay, we'll get back on it. We got to get on this road because we got to pick up our guys from Italy at the airport because we escorted the guys to the hotel. And so we're going up I-55 and it's closed. Like out of nowhere, like highway closed. So we're like, well, why is the highway closed? Oh, because the tornado ripped out pavement.
Yeah, come to find out,
A tornado went through and ripped up pavement, damaged something. So I don't remember exactly what the full thing, but they had to close the highway.
Yeah.
So we're out on this roundabout area, like back roads, and I have to go to the bathroom. I had to go to the bathroom at the gas station, but because I had to deal with getting the keys out, and I'm not talking I had to pee, I had to...
It was the number 2.
It was terrible. It was terrible. So we get into Chicago. They stop, like, hey, this is our hotel. We'll wait here until we hear from the other guys. Yeah. So I was like, I got to go. I like shut the bike off, helmet comes flying off. And I go in there, I walk to the front desk.
And the way he walked away, we thought it was just like because he's on the phone as he's doing it. I thought, oh, okay, he's just walking away because he's got to deal with some national.
It's closest I had for duck.
We need to get a duck one.
Duck.
Duck.
Which we'll have a funny story about that too.
Yeah, we do. So I thought he was just walking away dealing with some national things because we just got there.
I wish I'd have seen that for your storm.
If only. Well, granted, it had started raining right before we left anyways. But it was just
very
a little.
It was like a drizzle. Well, especially compared to what you guys had. But yeah, so I go duck walking into this place, and I go to the front desk and say, hey, all 20 of us are here to be checking into our rooms. We'll be in just a minute. And I like all the way over to the bathroom. And I'm in the middle of going to the bathroom. My phone rings. I'm like, hey, what's up? He goes, dude, we're at the wrong hotel. I'm like, oh, no. So real quick, finish that off. Like, I left there sweating like, I felt better. Like, thank God we stopped. I never. Number one, because man, that was bad. Like, I felt bad. Like, it was one of those like Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when he walks out and like goes, "Do not go in there." Woo! Like, it was bad, and I just walked right out of the hotel over to the bikes. We all got on the bikes and left, and I was like, "Oh man, no wonder they looked at me weird when I said, hey, we're all here to check in."
Yeah, they had
Oops.
no clue.
No clue. So when we get to the other hotel, we don't even check in. I don't think.
No, we didn't even get a
we didn't have
chance to
time.
check in.
So we went over, met the Italian guys at the Chicago airport, parked our bikes right along the airport road. We had permission from the airport authority to do that.
Yep.
Walked them all out, met them all. Everybody got big hugs. And we had about, 25, 30 bikes there?
At least at that point, yeah.
Anywhere from 15 to 20.
30,
yeah, somewhere in there. It was more than 15, less than 30, somewhere in that range. And we escorted the shuttle all the way back to the hotel. Got everybody checked in, and then we went to the founder's house there in Chicago for he brought in a taco truck and
it was
a few drinks, taco trucks, and just a meet up. And we get there thinking there's going to be like 15 people there.
Oh,
there was like 50.
Yeah.
Like everybody showed up.
Lawns covered in bikes.
Yeah, just parked all over the place. It was great.
It was awesome. And thinking about it, so being from Tucson, you have a certain expectation of, I guess it'd be Mexican food because that's what it was. I mean, it was tacos.
Street tacos. I mean, it was street tacos for sure.
But they were amazing.
Tacos al pastor.
Really
oh, yeah, the pineapple in it. Oh,
it was so good. For being Chicago, so just to give it some context, we were all the way in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, like in Chicago enough that we're like, oh, how far are we? Oh, we're only 6 miles away. 35 minutes.
Yeah.
What the
That makes
heck?
no sense to us at all.
No, we're like, how does that happen? And then as you're driving, you're like, oh, 6,324 lights. 0.5.
That plus traffic.
And then the traffic, yeah. And
Traffic
it's like,
was
it's a
ridiculous.
1 lane on each side road, and people are like 2-laning it the whole way. We're like, oh, cool. But it was a good way to start out the week. It was not technically the start of Nationals yet. That was Thursday.
No,
but,
we were still beforehand, but we were having a good time.
Yep.
We were bringing it in. And holy crap. Just to say, the fact that we had 45 seconds of motorcycles on a highway.
Well, that's
'Cause
day 3.
But still,
yeah, no.
Regardless, like
We
you're
had,
talking that many seconds.
At total, when we did the run to, well, let's go next day. So the next day was meeting everybody that hadn't been there yet. So we've got people coming from all over the U.S., people flying in from Italy, Great Britain.
We had a brother come in from Washington.
And he drove
he rode by himself.
3,200 miles or something like that
insane.
to get each way to get there. Like
It was insane.
Camping the
By
whole
himself.
way by himself, did not with anybody else.
That was the craziest part about it. He went by himself.
And we were all tracking him on Life 360, like, is this dude alive? Like, and he showed up. He cool as heck. And then Thursday night, so what we did is Thursday, everybody went over to the Harley dealer.
Yep.
Even the Indian riders went there.
Yeah,
But we did get a cool Chicago shirt that did not have Harley branding.
I will give you that.
Yes.
So I was like, it's
I'm not
sacrilege.
buying a shirt here. I've got an Indian patch on my jacket. I'm not even walking into this place. We're like, dude, you got to check out these shirts.
It felt like sacrilege to buy anything in that shop. But then Eric tells me, he's like, hey, this one doesn't say Harley anywhere on it.
It just says
So
Chicago
I started
Motor
looking
Company.
at it, and I started looking, and I was like, oh, it really doesn't. And it's an awesome shirt.
It's a really cool shirt.
A bunch of us have it now.
Everybody has. Oh, God, half the club has that shirt. But it's a really cool one. So we'll have to do like one of those Chicago Nights deal where we all dress up in the same darn shirt.
And, you know, we'll both throw on that
wear
shirt
them
for the podcast.
For a podcast. But, yeah, it was really cool. Got to see some of those new bikes were beautiful. And we'll talk about that after our buddy one of our buddies rented one.
Yeah.
And we want to thank one of our founding sponsors, the Legion of St. Michael Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, founded in 2014 in Chicago, Illinois, by the Chicago Police Department.
They have many chapters throughout the United States and international. We are part of the Tucson chapter, and Eric is actually national president, and he got to go visit our international brothers down in Italy.
And moved on and saw some friends that we met in Italy and Qatar. But we're a 501c3 charitable organization that focuses on law enforcement and first responder families in their times of need, whether it be a death, financial issue. We're there to help support our brothers and sisters in blue.
Yep. Anything they need or their families need, we usually try to help out anything we can, any way we can, financially, or even if it's just moral support, being there for them, being able to help them out with anything they need or we can do for them.
So if you're interested in donating to the Legion of St. Michael, reach out to any of the chapters through us, through our many social media profiles that we have set up.
Being Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, YouTube, or Rumble. Any one of those, you can reach out to us, or you can reach out to us on our email, bikesmikesandidiots@gmail.com, and we'll try to get back to you as quickly as we can so you can help us out and do whatever you can.
And once again, thank you to Legion of St. Michael as a founding member. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go along on the podcast today, because this is going to be a little more bike oriented than normal.
Yeah,
we're going to be really heavy on bike stuff just because
we literally just came back.
So we go back to the hotel, and then we're all going to meet up for dinner. Did we do dinner there? Did we do that?
No.
Day?
That day,
Thursday night.
We went Harley dealership back, and then we went back over there for the concerts.
Yeah, we did. We ate dinner. Yeah, we did dinner there.
Yeah.
We went and bought our own food there.
Yeah, we didn't got our own food there.
So yeah, we went back to the Harley dealer graciously. It was Rosemont Harley. Graciously let us use their parking lot. Oh, so we all parked there, and they let us in a side gate for the concert series. Oh, it was the whole parking lot.
We used the entire.
There was, I think, that night there was like 70-something bikes there, 60 or 70 bikes there. Everybody went in, enjoyed the concert. Rosemont, thank you for one of the most phenomenal fireworks shows I've ever seen. It was like 30 minutes long. There was like 3 or 4 finales. Like, it went through like, dude, that was a great finale, and then it's like still going. Whoa, well, let's keep going. So they just kept going, and that's a Thursday. Yeah, that's what we do on Thursday over here. So every Thursday in the summer they have a concert, and it's like, I guess that's like their like a financial district where they have a mall and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah, they had a few things there.
So they actually fund those fireworks by donations and stuff like that.
But that was awesome, though.
Absolutely amazing. And then we got we went to get a beer with our friend from Washington.
Yeah, we did.
And we did a picture of ducks.
Ducks.
So we went in and did our duck picture, and this bachelorette party comes by, and me being me, I'm just who I am.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, wow, huh? Pictures with ducks. That's really cute. And we're like, I'm like, well, I can't help it. They drive me quackers. And she's like, dad joke. I'm like, oh, hey, want to hear another one? And I go, okay. I said, hey, you guys remember what Cinderella said when she got to the ball? And then just silence. They're like, not knowing. And I went, huh? and the one girl goes, oh my God. And another girl in the back was going, like, do you try not to laugh? But they were all burst out laughing. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And then we're like, okay, girls, have a good night. And we walked away, and they're like, you could hear them as we walked away. That was fun. It was awesome.
It was a good one.
It was definitely, and it was comedic timing, is what it was. Because they didn't expect that at all after the duck.
No,
one.
after the ducks. Yeah.
Quackers.
Quackers.
But that was good. So we walked back, and as we were leaving, we lined up, waiting for everybody to get in line, and some schlub, some idiot, does a burnout.
Yeah, some idiot.
Yeah, just pretty good burnout, apparently.
It was pretty good.
Kind of smoked out some people, but it was like one of those things, like, we don't really do that. So
to the point of people going...
People waving the smoke out of their face, and then I didn't know who it was, and I turned around and saw the smoke was coming from the back of my bike. I don't know how that happened.
I wonder how.
I don't know. So we did
Must
that.
have been stuck on something.
Yeah, the throttle must have got stuck open. But then we rode back to the hotel, had a couple drinks at the hotel with everybody, because the next morning we were heading out too.
Basically downtown. It was
amazing.
Lakeshore Drive.
Lakeshore Drive. So amazing. We went down to the law enforcement memorial over next to Soldier Field. And then we went to the planetarium, which has like beautiful picturesque.
Which is literally like a quarter mile from there.
Beautiful. And then we did, what was the last one we did there? Was it the 360
park.
building?
No, the park.
The fountain. The fountain.
Yeah, the fountain.
The fountain there, Chicago Fountain for Married with Children. So we did those 3 stops. We had a drone company that flew a drone following us the whole time.
Which is awesome.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to it.
I have a little bit of camera footage from it. I haven't had a chance to even look at it, to be honest. Just
once we get the finished footage where they're going to put music and everything to it, once we get the finished footage, we'll make sure we add a link to the next podcast.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure that it's on there once the link's available. They said it's going to take a few weeks because they want to make sure production looks good and everything's good. But so then we rode back to the hotel. Oh, that was after actually. Then
hey, do you think they got the cars cutting in and trying to like hit people?
Oh, I don't know. Probably not. They might have. They might have. Like we had, people were getting pissed because we had 70 bikes, 70 motorcycles there.
We had a guy end up in someone's driveway.
Yep.
Because they got cut off.
Got cut off. He slammed on his brakes and had to end up in the driveway and but it was great. We were very blessed for the whole weekend. Nobody got hurt. We had a couple bikes that got fried, but nobody got hurt.
Which is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that's the most important
considering
part.
how many bikes, you just consider the statistics
the
or
fact that they're all Harleys and they're bound to break down.
Oh, we had like four Indians.
Too. Yeah.
We had like
four. One of them went down.
Which one?
I don't know, but it had to have happened.
It had to have. There was like 4 Indians.
There was more than that because there was at least 3 Roadmasters. There was 2 Challengers, a Pursuit. Oh, yeah. So there's at least 5 or 6. There was a few. They're becoming a lot more prevalent. Which I mean, they're a good bike, so I'm not surprised. And
I actually convinced somebody that. So I might have 2 more.
2 more Challengers.
Have 2 more buddies.
Challengers or Pursuits because he said he might think about the Pursuit as well because of the conveniences with it.
Just the extra stuff that comes with it. Which they're awesome. They're amazing motorcycles. And don't get me wrong, the Harleys, the new Harleys are
unbelievable.
Awesome.
One of our guys rented one.
Yeah.
And I'm an analog gauge person. I don't like digital gauges.
And you know what? We talked about this on our first podcast, our first official podcast. We talked about that where
they look okay.
They look awesome. Me personally, I think they look awesome.
I like
the look. I like the look of it. But I even said that on the first one where
what happens if they go out?
What happens if they go out? I would love to have at least
a backup analog
backup.
Even if it's just your speedometer.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, you don't necessarily need all of them, but just the speedometer would be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what are you going to do? Like, if for whatever. Well, okay.
Make guesses.
Great example. Actually, great example. You're going through the rainstorm we went through,
and it keeps changing your screens, and you can't track
touching
it.
stuff.
And,
It keeps touching stuff on the screen because it thought that's why we had you go up front. Because
honestly, they're not designed to be running the kind of rain that we were running in. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Like
That is very true.
even Jake's cell phone got water in the lens, and he's got a 15 Max Pro.
Yeah, and it's brand new, pretty much.
It's supposed to be 100 water resistant, but it's supposed to be able to go underwater.
Yeah,
and now other than the bow wave off that truck, there was no underwater. I mean, it was that wet. Like it, I've never seen that much water at one time.
It was insane. It was insane. But
dude, it rolled in. You could see it coming across the field. And
it literally was that.
Like, no way. Not even that slow. Like it was like boom, boom, boom. Like it was strobe lightning. Like I would not be surprised if there was a tornado in there. Like it was that kind of. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I wouldn't say the sky was green enough because usually that's like a thing with tornadoes. Is you get a little green. And the winds were fairly consistent. They weren't
insane.
Yeah,
it wasn't,
but it was just a terrible story.
But so during that whole thing, so you guys will see. We'll end up posting that picture of us.
Of you guys looking like drowned rats?
I'll double check with the guys, make sure they're cool with it. But of us, you can see there's a cornfield behind us.
Well, we'll just blot out the one guy's face.
Yeah.
Because Jake's already been on here, so it doesn't matter. Captain America's already been here.
Captain America. But there's a cornfield behind us, and I was just like, at this point, hey, guys, you want to get lost in the cornfield?
Yeah.
Like, let's just... Might as well. Like,
let's go walk around in the cornfield. And I'm like, yeah, have you guys seen Children of the Corn? Like, this is how you die. But, yeah. But then, so the next day, so we had dinner, all that kind of stuff.
We ended up having dinner.
Chicago hot dogs.
No. We had the pizza.
That night.
We had pizza that night.
Because we went back for the drunk bus.
Yeah, that was...
So we went back to the hotel, and then they got us 4 charter buses.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you take this one, because this one's yours.
So they brought in buses. So we went through downtown. We dealt with insane amount of traffic. Like the traffic was just, it's insane how those people drive out there. Because I literally had cars.
What do you mean by those people?
Chicago people. There's no other Chicago people. People that live in Chicago and drive.
Chicagoans?
Is that what they're called?
I don't know. Let's come up with a new word. Chicagians.
Chicagians. I'm down for Chicagians.
Chicagian sounds good.
So and we're probably totally wrong. We're gonna get corrected.
Yeah. That's okay.
But they drive insane. Yes. Like I had people that passed by like the end of my handlebars that were like this close to me, and I'm like, what the hell is your problem?
Well, and what's crazy is then you look at their cars and how many of them are dented. I wonder how that happened.
I wonder why. But we went downtown. We did all that stuff. We were supposed to go by the Bean. Didn't end up happening that day because
there was too many people. The logistics was crazy.
It was just insane. Those guys did amazing work getting us around there. They really did.
Well, and then the other part of it is it's slower traffic. It gets hot.
Oh yeah.
Air-cooled Harleys. Well, and even the air-cooled Indians, the guys were like, dude, these things are getting really hot. Yeah. So, I mean, they just get hot. They have to move to cool.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. I mean...
And don't get me wrong, like mine, I can still feel the heat when we're sitting for a while. Like, I can still feel it.
Oh, yours was hot.
And mine was getting hot. Luckily, being liquid-cooled, it doesn't get insanely hot, but it was getting hot.
Well, I mean, yours got hot enough that I heard them send the ambulance for you.
That wasn't for me. Luckily, it wasn't for me this time. But we went back.
Yeah.
We got some food. We got some food at Whiskey River.
Yes.
I think that was the name of the place.
Yes, that was excellent.
That place was awesome.
Excellent.
And they had enough parking for all of us, luckily. And then everyone kind of just started going back to the hotel from there.
Go back to the hotel, take a shower,
whenever you're ready. So everyone kind of broke off from there, which made it a lot easier to get through town.
Yes, because we were doing groups of 5 to 10 versus
70.
Yeah. Well, and that's where my Apple Maps did not do such a good job, and it put in the actual address for the hotel, and it dropped us off at a rundown, collapsed warehouse.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like our hotel.
I mean, I could sleep here, but
Yeah.
no. So we got back to the hotel, and then there was a certain time frame where we were supposed to go back outside because they had essentially party buses.
Tour
for us.
buses, yeah.
Yeah, essentially party buses.
Yep.
And so
Bikes, Mikes, and Idiots are the smart ones.
Exactly.
We brought what?
Whiskey.
And beer.
And beer. Oh, yeah. Forgot about the beer. So we were lucky enough. We were all on the same bus. Me, Eric, and a few of the other guys. The other guys that didn't come with us.
Didn't come on our bus.
We're not super happy.
They called it the sad bus. And the crank, was it the curmudgeon bus was one of them? The curmudgeon bus?
The curmudgeon bus.
Said everybody the whole time was complaining and then like you guys got off, like, we get to downtown Chicago, you guys all get off the bus, you got drinks in your hands, you're like,
you're all happy, and you guys are all happy. What the hell
like,
happened?
how the heck did that happen?
Because it was insane. So it took us an hour and a half to get to the original spot when we were riding on the motorcycles. And that's understandable. There's a ton of motorcycles, so they're trying to keep everyone together. Hour and a half. I think it was 25 miles.
Yeah.
Insane still.
Yep.
Regardless, like for us, that's not a normal amount of time for that many miles. And then, so we went back to downtown area, which was a little bit shorter than what we went.
Yep.
And that took about 2 hours.
On the bus.
But
none of us had to drive, so everybody had drinks.
Everyone was having a good time.
At least on our bus.
Yes, our bus. Our bus had the good time.
Oh my God, it was funny. We got off and everyone was like, can I go on your bus? We're like, no.
Yeah.
Because we had to get on the same bus to make sure the counts were correct and all that.
To make sure everyone was accounted for. And we went to
the 360 building. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, I can't
It used to be the old Sears building or something like that. But
yeah, so it's a school building where there's two of them in Chicago. One of them has like a little protruding box that comes out and you can walk on it. It's fully glass. This one has the tilting. It has like a tilting glass.
Nope, didn't do it. No, thank you. Absolutely not.
I mean, I thought about it, and then I was like,
knowing my luck like with as hard as my nipples always are, I'd have cut through the glass and fallen to my death 94 stories.
Yeah, we were 100 and some stories up.
So we just drank at the bar. $30 drinks.
Although I looked out those windows, it was amazing.
It was a beautiful sight.
It was gorgeous.
Chicago is a very beautiful city.
And granted, if that is what their summers look like, I'm so down to be in Chicago.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Granted, that's probably not what their summers are normally like.
No, we had some weird weather. It was like a weird weather situation there. They're like last week the heat index was like 108, and today it's like freaking 90.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful. It was very beautiful.
I could be here all summer.
Yep.
If this is the summer, I could be here all summer. I can survive. Mm-hmm. Here in Tucson, not so much.
It was hot. And then next day we got up fairly early.
Yep.
We rolled out at 9 a.m. I think it was a 9 a.m.
About 9 a.m. Yeah.
And we went to the Harley-Davidson Museum. So
that was fun. That was
they hooked us up.
They really
so
did.
Harley-Davidson Museum, we'll hashtag you guys in this one for this go. They had a whole area for parking for us.
Yep.
They got up on ladders, took pictures of our whole group. We had 86 bikes.
Yep.
And about 140 something people there.
Yeah, it was insane.
So like we had a bunch of cars that had to go because some guys had a little bit too much to drink the night before. We're like, I can't do this on a bike.
And some
people
people just
bike
had
problems, and some people didn't have them because they flew in. One of our guys came in, had just had knee surgery.
Yeah, he
couldn't ride a bike, so he came in to join the Nationals.
And we had Shadow.
Yep,
Shadow flew in
from Florida.
Yeah, so we couldn't. He wasn't riding.
Yep.
So there was a few people that were just not riding. Just couldn't. But it was insane.
Oh my gosh.
So if you consider there's a good amount of people that are in vehicles besides motorcycles.
And they were blocking for us as well. They were holding off the lines, making sure people don't cut in. And
so they were helping out. But you consider that, okay, and we still had 45 seconds on the highway
of motorcycles going by. It was
45 seconds.
I've shown a couple of my buddies from other clubs around the last couple of days I was at work, and they were like, "That's all bikes." Yeah, that's all. That's us. And they're like, "Wow."
I mean, there's a
That's
few
huge.
trikes in there, but
Yeah, there's a couple of
Still
trikes,
counts.
but and there was a couple little gaps, but the gaps of 1 to 2 seconds for two.
I don't even think it was 1 to 2 seconds. It was
No.
like half a second.
But
Yeah.
it was crazy.
It was an insane amount of motorcycles.
Yep.
Like, I think we'll probably
Yeah.
post that. We'll probably post
We
that.
might,
45
we might
second.
link that, but
And it was insane.
and I
Like,
laugh. You go into the Harley Museum.
Yeah.
And they have a sign, no burnouts, and then don't rev your engine, be respectful of the
Be
community.
respectful.
So we're all like rolling in nice and quiet, and the lady from the Harley Museum goes, rev them up! And we're all like, oh. Of course, everybody's being Harley riders. Even the Indian riders were doing
and
it too.
the Indians sound amazing.
Yes, yours does. Yours does. Some of them
Mine
do
actually
not.
does. Actually, so
Some of them are like George
some of the-
Jetson.
Yeah, some of the guys. There's the guy that just got the Pursuit.
Yes,
He has
Gator?
Reinhardt's on it, but
Gator.
it might be.
Yeah, but he didn't do the.
But
cat-
he didn't do the cat delete.
He didn't do the thing that's illegal.
We might have to block that out then.
Yeah,
But
he didn't do that. Beep.
Yeah, he didn't do the beep. He
And
but
now
he-
a
and he
word
only
from
did
our
the 4
sponsors. Yeah,
He only did the 4-inch
yeah.
Reinhardt's.
He's
And
going to get the
it's
bigger
a-
ones,
it's
isn't
a,
he?
It's a
lot.
night
It's
and
a
day difference.
It's a higher pitch sound. The 4.5s are way deeper.
Oh yeah. So and then I didn't realize this because I really haven't had a chance to be behind my motorcycle except for that one time I had you rev it for me.
It's loud.
So me and
Oh,
me
when-
and Jake were on comms.
Yeah.
And we're rolling out of somewhere. I don't even know
You
where.
could hear your bike.
And I got in front. I ended up getting in front of him. And there's a little bit of delay.
Hello, God. God, who is the best husband in the world? I got no
Apparently that's
response.
not you.
Apparently, it's not me.
Apparently, it's not him.
God, go back to your hole.
I'm not in trouble today, so I'm good.
Does she look young enough for you today?
You're a son of a.
Oh, there's two beeps. Beep, 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 beep,
Yep,
beep.
it's me today. I'm the one that I'm gonna have to beep today.
Yeah, that's like 5 or 6 now. You're gonna. This is all your fault.
This is my fault today.
But so the Harley-Davidson Museum people were gay. She's like, rev them up. So we got in there, and there's tourists like
Yeah.
everywhere taking pictures of us rolling in. Because I mean, it's like you start, and the first bikes roll into this spout that they have set aside
Yeah.
for us, and it just keeps going
And going.
and going and going. And we had
going.
this whole section between the shop and the museum
Yeah.
filled with our bikes.
Just our bikes.
Just our bikes.
Just our bikes. It was only our bikes in
Yep.
that section. We filled up like a
Yep.
whole section.
Yep.
Just with
Yeah.
ours.
And then, we went to the bar and grill. We had grabbed some lunch real quick. It was actually kind of a late breakfast, early lunch for us.
Yeah.
We kind of did brunch because we're like, hey, everybody's going to try to eat at noon.
Yeah.
We need
Let's
to do
it
this now.
and then we'll go to the museum.
So we went in, had a beer, grabbed a lunch real quick, walked in the museum, and man, what history! I mean, even Indian lovers,
Yeah.
Indian motorcycle lovers can go in there and be like,
It was
wow.
It was good. I enjoyed
yeah,
enjoyed myself.
It was really. Oh, I'm sure you did. It was, and I'd love to go now. Now
I
I feel
won,
like
by the way.
I feel like I need to go to the Indian factory because
It
I
would
want
be
to see
awesome.
it.
It would be
I want to
awesome.
see it now. Like I want to see their museum. The only thing is there'll be like a 40-year portion missing, but that's okay. Yeah, It'll be like
that
pretty
first-
much my whole life. I don't remember any of it.
Although that first portion though, they were the best at like land speed records.
Oh,
all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
they were
that
crazy.
First portion, they were
Like
they were
and then
killing
we're
it.
like, oh, like it's 76 miles an hour, and then you see the roads and
Yeah,
the
they're
tires
like,
they're using, and the fact that he's
oh.
wearing just like a leather
They
football
still had
helmet,
the
and you're
all
like,
white tires.
yeah, and we're like,
No, thank you.
yeah. But then you see like they made 90,000 bikes for World War II.
Yeah. And you think about just that number.
Just that, yeah.
Well-
think about how many German soldiers were on horses versus mechanical. Like that is part of the reason that
Yeah.
the industrial might of the United States helped to win World War II by all stretches of the imagination. I mean that's
But and so I think it's a thing that probably no one really ever talks about.
Yeah.
It's you think of 90,000. It just seems like a number to you. But imagine 90,000 anything. 90,000 people.
yep.
And it's insane where okay, you go to a stadium. you've been to a football game, right?
Yep.
So you go to a stadium.
30,000 maybe. Most stadiums are 20 to 30,000.
Some of them are
Well,
50
now,
to 60,
now you're getting
like
50 to
newer,
60,
the
but
bigger
still.
ones.
Half.
Yeah.
And that's
but you
every
imagine
seat.
all those seats, and you're like, it doesn't seem like a sane amount, but you're like, you start looking around, and you're just like, holy crap, I'm so minuscule in this.
Yes.
And it brings that number into thought. 90,000 is a lot. Granted, not a huge number by today's standards.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like you're talking, how many motorcycles does Harley produce per year
God,
now?
I don't even know.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I would have to look that up. I have no clue.
so it's an insane number.
And then the innovation they had to do. So, like, they had to do a boxer motor.
Oh yeah, they did
with
the
the,
boxer
with the
motor.
side.
That was pretty cool.
You know, it's that their one motor that has the heads on the sides, so that they could cool in the desert environment.
Yeah,
Wow, totally makes sense to me looking at it. Like,
yeah. When you know the background to it, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
well, and then
Although,
that had
granted-
2 seats on the bike and 1 seat in the sidecar. Like that
Yeah.
was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
3-person motorcycle. And then I saw the whip antenna. I was like, oh, you know what? I bet you that's a radiocom
Yeah.
unit that they would. But still,
Okay, but imagine, would you want to ride? What is it? An R18, the new BMWs that they
No.
redid the box. I've sat on
they're
them.
wide, and then they do a
I've
little bit
sat
of a
on
torque
them.
kit.
Well, yeah, but I've sat on them. You know how miserable that feels?
Oh,
like,
the heat.
Where you're just like, like you're.
How are you? You're like a baby. You're like a baby T-Rex,
Like, but well, because that's
and the heat's blowing right on your legs.
and it's right there. Yeah. If you want to stretch your legs a little bit forward, you're touching heads.
Yeah, you're burning.
Oh.
Hello, God. Are you leaving again? Yep. Who's the best husband in the world?
Me.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
that will be remembered.
But
Hey, if your card doesn't, if your debit card doesn't work, just let me know.
well, apparently God has something.
Apparently I'm in trouble today.
Yeah. At least it's not me. As long as it's not me, I'm good.
And once again, on Bikes, Mics, and Idiots, we want to thank one of our founding sponsors, Sketchy Alias. He's a freelance graphic designer from Arizona who specializes in vector-based artwork. I'm an idiot. I don't know what that means, but it's really cool. He's been working on design for over 15 years and has worked in everything from logos, apparel, design, and social media. He's made a phenomenal logo for us, and he is, like I said, one of our founding sponsors.
No, you think about that whole boxer motor where it's sitting right in front of your shins, essentially.
Yeah. It's got to cook the hell out
You
of
want to
you.
stretch out a little bit. You're touching heads.
Yeah.
And then, like, you're literally, it's a mid-control motorcycle, essentially.
Yeah.
It's miserable. Like, it's not comfortable.
Oh, it's like God, miserable.
That one, at least?
Yeah.
Jeez. Little G?
Yeah.
Little G. But yeah, so it's like, it's uncomfortable. Those R18s, they look cool. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have one just for the looks.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
It's kind of like a wife. You want to have them for the looks.
well, it depends on your wife. It depends on your wife.
And how mad they are at you right now for something. I don't know what it is. I'll find out in a week. You
That's
remember
true.
when you
Well,
said...
You know, we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It happens.
Whatever.
Communication is key, sir.
Well, we just communicated-ish. But yeah, so then we did the Harley-Davidson Museum, and then we went back to the hotel, and we had
Which was amazing because we
we split up there too.
That was the first time in was it for
4 days, 5 days, yeah.
It was at least 5 days that we had a chance to kind of just relax. We didn't have an agenda. We didn't have any itinerary. We were just like, hey,
The
you
other
get a
guys
few
are going to
hours.
another place. We're like, we're out.
You get a few hours.
We're
to
going to go
yourself.
take showers.
Yeah, we're just going to relax.
Yep. And went
That
back,
was-
and then we had our national meeting, which we won't talk about. But
Yeah. But that was awesome too.
But it was fun. It was good having
we had a whole
everybody
banquet
together.
for it. It
Yep.
was
Banquet
nice.
set up. We had a DJ. We had a master ceremony. It was fun. It was a really good time.
But hey, Pepper.
Oh, the dogs are saying hi now.
They are. They came through. Oh, just one.
Yep,
Just one.
Just Piper. She's a nice one.
But no, I mean that was great. But I loved the fact that that was the first chance in 5-6 days in total that we had a chance to kind of just relax, just have a little bit of time to ourselves and basically recuperate from the last 5-6 days on the road and getting there and doing all that stuff. Like even while we were there, it was kind of ridiculous because traffic. You're just like on the bike. You're just like
Oh yeah, just nonstop. Yeah, it was just a nightmare. The traffic was bad. Now I got to find the app again. There we go. But yeah, that part of it was not fun.
No, so that was nice to have that little bit of break.
Yep.
And then the banquet was nice. And then
We got up the next morning and 700 miles day one and 1,000 plus day two.
and we went to sleep at what time?
I went to bed at 3:30 ish, and we were up at 7,
Yeah. Thank you.
and then 700 miles.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was there with him,
Yes,
right there next to him.
I survived.
So did I. I'm here.
Well, kind of. We are, and then good long ride home, but it was good.
It was a fun
And we
time.
missed every storm on the way back. Like
Oh, it was so amazing.
we ride and we're like, oh, that doesn't look good. And then you'd watch it as the road, and it goes across the road.
Yeah,
5 minutes in front of us.
Missed it.
And then-
just barely.
Oh, it's building again. Oh my gosh, here comes another one. And we outrun it, and it's 5 minutes behind us. And
No.
we just got super.
I think
super
we
lucky.
lucked out because we sat down for lunch.
Yeah,
That sit down lunch was
yeah.
nice.
That was that time. Because had we not, we'd hit both of those other storms. And
We probably would have, honestly.
On Alamogordo, we'd hit both of those.
Oh, that would have been miserable.
Yeah, because those
Although-
look pretty
and it was
heavy.
good.
They look pretty heavy.
It was nice to be able
It kept
to
the temperature
just-
down though too.
It did. It was nice to be able to just kind of chill for a bit,
Yep.
not be on the motorcycle, and hey, I'm gonna eat my lunch real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat my burrito.
Exactly.
It was real nice. It was a good ride. I have a picture of us the last stop we had all together because once we hit into Tucson, we started splitting off.
Yeah.
So that was nice. We had a little moment of this is our last stop all together.
And one of our guys from Tucson came and met us.
Oh
You know,
he met us in Benson.
30 miles out, and brought us back in.
Yeah. So that
Escorted
was
us back in until we all split from our exits.
So that was cool too.
Yep. So it was good.
It was a really good trip.
Yeah.
It's going to be very memorable. Obviously, we didn't tell every little detail of what we did.
Yeah. Well, because you can't, because honestly, that's. But we got some stuff coming up. We may do a mobile podcast
Yeah.
next week. No, not next week. The week after that.
Somewhere
Whatever.
in there.
In a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Because I got to go run my bike
What are we
up to
calling it?
Harley. So
I wonder why.
got to make a bigger motor to try to keep up with you.
Actually, after you have that bigger motor, you might beat me.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
But you know what? Honestly,
Ultimately,
like-
it comes down to cubic dollars. Anybody can make a bigger, faster motor. Just
yeah,
I'm doing it more, so I just want a little more snap in the mid range.
and that's great. You know what I mean? Like mine's more than enough than I need.
Well, how long had I been talking about that too, though? Like a year.
You've been back and forth on it for a while. So you finally pulled the trigger on it, and
Yeah.
I mean,
They've been calling me nonstop. Hey, we're ready to put it in now. And I'm like, I just got back.
Gone.
I've been gone. I just changed my location. Don't even know what days off I have yet. So
Which is awesome. So
Yeah.
you got to transfer. So now you get to be
fresh, new,
training 20 minutes from home.
yeah, versus an
drive-wise.
hour. So it's
Yeah,
it's
so
a big
it's-
difference. It's like getting a raise.
It kind of is.
Fuel
honestly,
cost
if you think
rise,
about
yeah.
it. It really is. You get a chance to not have to go
Yep.
so far. Plus, you add that extra time back into your life,
Yes, exactly.
which is the craziest thing. So I had a job that
Oh, you
I
did?
was
Once.
at one at one point I did have a job. I actually did some I actually did some work, and Yeah, right.
I actually didn't mean to do that. I went to scan to the other
To the
page.
other side.
Because what kind of work was it?
Same thing we're doing now.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
had a longer commute.
Oh yeah, same thing. That's true.
But yeah, I almost had a 2-hour commute to work.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Not well.
And you know what? Everyone talks about, like, you know, your commute to work. Oh, you get used to it, this, that, and the other. It's not true.
Still time.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
Well, it's
and
still
I've said
time.
that.
I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah, but I've said that for the longest time. It's not true that you have this commute to and you get used to it. It's you accept it.
Yeah,
It's a totally different
you
thing.
adjust to it.
Yeah, you accept it because it's when you're.
What
talking,
else are you gonna do?
When you're talking, like, I end up having an hour basically before work and an hour after work to be a normal person, have a full 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't get used to that.
No.
You adjust to it. You kind of accept it, and you're just like, this is what I got to do right now.
Yeah.
But I also had these breaks in between where I got to get detailed to something closer to my house, where I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I'm a 10-minute drive.
Why can't I keep doing this?
Yeah.
But so that's awesome for you because it brings so much back to your life that you don't realize.
Oh, I will soon enough, hopefully.
Well,
and I
granted,
kind of got a bite of it anyway because the last 2 years I've been close. So
yeah, we've been working together for a while. So same area. It's not super far for us. Luckily.
no, it's literally only I think 3 minutes beyond where I'm at now. It's not much.
Yeah,
it's not much.
So it's
20
it's
to
a
25 minutes.
It's a great deal.
Worked
But now
out
you
good.
get to do that for the rest of your career. At
Yeah,
least.
and I'll be
it's
done.
not.
I'm at
Our
the beginning.
detail has to stop.
Yeah.
and you got to go back.
No, I'm back. This is my place
This
now.
is your
so.
this is your place. So
Well, good
that's
deal.
awesome for you.
Good deal. I'm happy for it. So,
I bet. I'm happy for you too because.
but crazy thing is I'm going to be day shift for a few months, and I don't know what it's going to be like to be like a real human being again.
See, here's the messed up part. Here's the messed up part. So, I did midnight shift for a few years straight, and I was like, never again, I can't do that. Over that time period, like, I gained a bunch of weight. I felt miserable.
No.
It's just unnatural.
Yes, it is.
And then I did day shift again, and I was like, why am I not just doing this? Granted, because of our work, like, you have to do shift work and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Understandable. But it feels amazing to feel like a normal person again.
Yeah, right.
And honestly,
Sure.
I semi-hope you actually go through day shift for a few weeks or whatever and just be like,
Nope.
you know what, it feels good.
Oh, I probably will, but I'm going to go back to nights because I'm a money monger.
You're a money
I'm
monger.
gonna earn that extra cash for the extra nest egg. So
Wait, okay, so that, I mean, and that's understandable. At
I've
the
done
end
it
of
for
your career.
20 something years at this point. 4 more years ain't gonna make a difference.
End of your career, I kind of understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I get wanting to make that extra money, but you don't understand, like, okay, for me, personally, just for me, it's like that extra being able to be a normal person on a normal basis made a world of difference for me.
Oh yeah, I know. God has told me that the house God has told me that
God.
I'm way less grumpy when I'm on days or swings.
Hey, maybe that means something.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, but then again, you're right though. Then again, it's you only have a few more years of it, so understandable. But at the same time, like, come join the dark side.
The good thing about being on nights is I know when it's time for me to retire, I'm not even going to regret it. I get to go live like a normal human being again. I'm done. If I'm getting up in the morning and doing all that kind of stuff and being a normal human being, I'll last longer, and I don't want to.
But what happens if you all of a sudden you're waking up at 2-3 in the morning every day? It's just like, I'm up. I don't know what to do with myself.
Probably not going to happen.
You're like, I'm going to be sleeping like.
Oh no!
18
You know
hours
what?
a
You know what
day.
I'll do is I'll roll back over and go back to bed.
I was about to say, you're probably going to be sleeping like 18 hours a day. Let me make up for all the sleep I missed.
All the sleep I've missed the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's different. A lot of people don't ever have to experience it because most people work normal jobs.
If you've never worked shift work, you don't know how hard it is.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's miserable.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever do it again. I've been knock on wood.
That's funny. That's where I put you.
Yeah. Knock on wood, I've been lucky for the last, 2018 to 2014. Oh, no, actually, 2016, 2017-ish. I've done it for the last about, let's say, 8 years. I've been lucky enough to be able to stay on day shift, on normal people shift.
Yeah.
Granted, some people don't want to wake up as early as I have to wake up. I mean, I wake up at 4 in the morning, right now at least. Sometimes it's 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I at least live a semi-normal person life.
Yeah. Well,
and I've been able to do that for the last 8-ish years.
Yeah.
7, 8-ish. Amazing. And I'm like, you know what? I never want to go back. I never want to go back.
It's tough not to. Like I've done all the shifts, honestly. Yep. I've been all over the place on them in my tenure, and I do definitely like day shift better, but the money difference is huge.
Oh no, money difference is insane.
One kid jumping into college right now, and another one prepping for it. So I need them Benjis.
I mean that does make sense, but it's how much is your mental health worth?
What mental health?
Your life.
I have no mental health. Come on now. You know this.
That is true. How much is your life worth?
No, you're not wrong.
But in reality, how much is your
No, I get what you're saying. I'll see how it goes on day shift here, and then I put in for some promotions again as well. So if I get those, I'm not gonna even have a choice.
You're not gonna have a choice at that point.
So I just resign myself to I'm on the crappiest shift. Oh well.
And that makes sense.
So
it just
I've always been pretty good about just going with the flow on that. And like when I go on vacation, like I go visit my parents or something at home.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm sleeping until 10, 11 o'clock, and they're like, we're just not going to wake you up because obviously you need it.
Oh yeah, but that's the problem though. Is like you're always trying to catch up,
and you'll never catch up. You
never will. Don't get me wrong. I have to wake just because I have to wake up early as I do. I still don't catch up.
Oh, just waking up to go to my out process day from my old place to get ready to go to the new place because you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork and get everything set up. I woke up in that morning at 3:30 in the morning. I was like, what is wrong with people? But I'm so used to another schedule that's
you're different. It's a different schedule. Yeah. But even for me, like I had to wake up, like I said, at 4-ish, sometimes 5-ish, depending on the shift. But it is really early. But the problem is I love the fact that I get out as early as I do and I have the rest of the day to do normal things. I do too,
but the problem is I've always been a night owl. I've always been like a go to sleep late person, and I actually get less sleep when I work days than I do when I'm working night times.
That's ridiculous. Like
because I'll stay up and maybe some of it's because I've been on nights for so long and I haven't readjusted. Because normally at the end of my vacations, I'm already sleeping really good like overnight.
Yeah.
But like at the beginning of my vacations, it's like I'm up till 3:30 in the morning and we're getting up at 7.
Yeah, struggling. And I get that because I'm kind of the same way. Like me really sleeping in is like 9, 10 o'clock maybe. And that's like because I haven't slept very much in the last whole week.
Yeah.
But I'll wake up at like 7 and I'll be like, it's late.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, it's so late.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I look at my clock and I'm like, pretty much no one else is awake yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's, I guess, you do get adjusted to it, and I'm a night owl, so
Yeah.
even on those days that I'll wake up at 7, sometimes the latest I've ever woken up the first time, because I'll usually try to go back to sleep, force myself to go back to sleep because I know I need it, is 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Oh God.
And I'm like, that's
When I
normal
was-
people's like waking up time.
Yeah, when I was working days before, I had my hour plus commute, and I had to be there an hour before everybody. I was getting up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's still miserable.
But then I get home at night, and I'd be asleep by 7. Like, I have no
You
life
get the
anyway.
old man schedule.
I still have no life. Either way, I have no life because of the commute and everything else.
That's the old man schedule, though. Like, we're going to sleep at 7. You're
And I hated
retired,
it.
like,
Absolutely hated it.
I couldn't do that either.
Yeah.
So I have trouble falling asleep anyways. So going to sleep at 7, I'd be miserable.
Yeah.
The whole time I'd be miserable trying to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So it's a give or take on either side.
Yep. Well, on that note, I think since we've put people to sleep here,
Probably.
I think I'm gonna end that up with live good,
Ride hard.
and we'll catch you next time.